2013 balance sheet shows increasing sales in all the major countries. Gains in Italian production driven by exports, whereas the domestic market is still in the grip of the recession.
Data on sales reported by AgRevolution, the association of the world's leading manufacturers of agricultural machinery, disclosed gains in tractor sales in 2013 of 9% in the United States, a 17% surge in Brazil, plus 2% in the European unit, 2% up in Turkey, and a 16% rise for India, confirmed as the leading market in the world with 620,000 tractors sold. The total value of agricultural machinery sales around the globe was estimated at more than €93 billion. Among the European countries, France and Germany led the way with growth over the average for the continent. On the international scene, Italian exports rose by 5%, according to Istat, the Italian National Statistic Institute's foreign trade data, to further consolidate growth of 31% in the period 2009 to 2012. As a result, the production of these Italian industries is expected to reach €7.7 billion overall for tractors, other agricultural machinery and components, to approach the production levels achieved prior to the 2008 financial and economic crisis, when the total value reached €8.2 billion. The share lacking for a full recovery of these pre-crisis levels is accounted for by the domestic market, which, unlike the trends on international market, is still in a slump. Tractor registrations in 2013 came to 19,017, down 1.7% under 2012, to sink to their lowest level recorded in the entire post-war period. The decrease in tractor sales was accompanied by the 16.7% plunge in transporters, falling to 947 units registered, and trailers off by 5.7%, which reached only 9,704 units sold. FaderUnacoma President Massimo Goldoni noted, "The foreign markets are growing, and the domestic market is increasingly linked to agri-mechanical enterprises and new production chains. And this is the scenario characteristic of agricultural mechanization, and one we have to deal with also through promotional and trade fair events."
A fair on agricultural mechanization will be held in Tirana in mid-June, in the framework of a cooperation agreement between Italian and Albanian institutions. The machinery pool of the Balkan country is greatly insufficient, and cooperation with the Italian industry promises substantial developments.
The first edition of EMA Southeast Europe will be held in Tirana from June the 13th to the 15th, an exhibition on agricultural mechanization that will mark the beginning of cooperation between Italy and Albania in a strategic sector of the Balkan country's economy. The event is promoted by FaderUnacoma, the Italian Agricultural Machinery Manufacturers Federation, and by the Mediterranean Agronomic Institute of Bari, and is part of an agreement between the Albanian Ministry of Agriculture and the Albanian Association of Mechanics and Agricultural Equipment, and will be supported technically by the Trade Fair Organization of Bari. The event will consist of a static exhibition of tractors, machinery and equipment, and a dynamic part in a field located in a green area. The event will take place in the context of a 4-year program put into effect by the Albanian government for the relaunch of agriculture, a program that benefits from the European Union pre-accession funds for countries engaged in the accession process to the EU. The development of agricultural mechanization is fundamental for Albanian agriculture, a sector that is characterized by a significant delay in availability of machinery both in terms of quantity and technological quality.
An Italian-African bilateral convention was sealed at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Rome for the launch of the Segment Agricultural Initiative, committing FaderUnacoma and the CIAM of Bari as principal partners of sub-Saharan governments.
The Italy-Africa Segment Agriculture Initiative was set in motion at the end of February at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Farnesina Palazzo in Rome. The document sets out an ample and well-organized range of activities which can be financed through cooperation funds revolving around professional training, experiments, and the transfer of technological innovations to the African countries, a continent displaying extraordinary potential for agricultural development, but in need of balanced and eco-compatible production models suited to the needs of rural communities. Taking part in the meeting were the ministers for agriculture from the major sub-Saharan Africa countries, Italian Minister for Agricultural Policy Maurizio Martina, authoritative representatives from the Italian Foreign Ministry, senior officials of such international organizations as the UN Food and Agriculture Organization and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and representatives from public agencies and such NGOs as Slow Food. At the center of discussion was a project document entitled Supporting Initiatives in the Agro-Food Sector in the SSA countries, Sub-Saharan Africa, promoted by the Foreign and Agricultural and Health Ministries, and the Italian Federation of Agricultural Machinery Manufacturers in Bari, FaderUnacoma. In their statements at the meeting in Rome, the ministers for agriculture of the countries involved spoke of their interest in cooperation with Italy precisely because of a philosophy behind interventions which looks also to biodiversity and local traditions. Thus, this challenge for the development of agriculture in Africa has been joined, and the commitment to come to terms with it is considerable. The mechanization gap between the continent and other areas of the world is still great if, according to FAO surveys, it is true that Africa accounts for a mere 2% of the world's agricultural machinery inventory.